Have you ever sat in your kitchen, staring at a pot of water and waiting for it to boil? Yesterday, I was in a huge hurry. I had so much work to do. I put the water on the stove, turned up the heat, and just stood there. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. The water was still completely calm. No bubbles, no steam, nothing. I felt so impatient. I wanted to say, "Why are you so slow?" But then I smiled. I realized something simple. No matter how much I rush, the water still needs its own time to boil. I cannot make it heat up faster just because I am busy. And that is when I started thinking about our lives. Have you ever felt like you are rushing your own life? Rushing to be successful? Rushing to improve? Rushing to hear someone say, "You are doing a great job." You want to see results because you have been trying for so long. It is not because you are greedy. It is not because you are weak. It is simply because you are tired of waiting. You just want to know that your quiet effort is not meaningless. We all feel this way sometimes. We want life to give us a clear answer so our hearts can stop worrying. But when nothing seems to happen, we start to doubt ourselves. We ask, "Am I too slow? Am I doing something wrong? Am I not good enough?" And that is exactly why I made this podcast episode today. I want to remind you, and also remind myself, that this slow season is not a failure. Maybe you just need time. Time to learn, time to heal, time to become stronger, time to grow deep roots before you grow tall. Good things take time. Beautiful dreams take time. And the better version of you also needs time to grow. So take a deep breath, grab your favorite drink, and let's talk about the beauty of waiting. Maybe waiting feels uncomfortable because we cannot see what is happening. When the water is still quiet, we think nothing is changing. But deep inside, the heat is already working. The water is slowly getting warmer, even before we see the first bubble. And I believe our growth is the same. There were many times in my own life when I felt like nothing was changing. I was trying, learning, working, and showing up every day, but the result was still silent. No big progress, no clear answer, no sign that things were getting better. And honestly, in those moments, I also doubted myself. I wondered, am I too slow? Am I doing something wrong? Why is it taking so long? But slowly, I started to understand something important. Just because I cannot see the change does not mean the change is not happening. Sometimes, your mind is learning quietly. Your heart is healing quietly. Your courage is growing quietly. Your life is becoming stronger quietly. Even science reminds us of this. In 2000, a scientist named Eric Kandel won the Nobel Prize. He discovered a simple truth. Your brain cannot build a long-term memory in 1 second. It needs time. It needs repetition. So, when you learn English and forget words you learned yesterday, please don't be hard on yourself. When you listen to a podcast and your mind goes blank, you are not failing. Your brain is physically rebuilding itself. Every time you practice, your brain creates a new connection. Every time you repeat, that connection becomes stronger. You cannot rush a brain cell. You cannot force your heart to heal overnight. But you can keep showing up, one word, one sentence, one small step. While you are waiting for results, something inside you is already changing. Building a new habit is hard. Whether you want to exercise, wake up early, or study English, the first week often feels like a battle. Your old habit is like a smooth highway in your brain. Your new habit is just a rough path full of rocks. It feels uncomfortable, but every time you show up, you remove one rock. You are not weak, you are just a builder clearing the road. Many people quit here because they want a perfect highway on day one. They think successful people just wake up lucky and talented. But from my own experience, that is not true. When I look at the most successful and talented friends around me, I realize a simple truth. None of them were born perfect. They did not get fast results. The friend who speaks English well spent years practicing alone. The friend with a great career spent thousands of quiet days working hard. Their success is not luck. It is many small bricks added together over time. And maybe this is the gentle truth we need to remember. The sweetest results in life usually need time. Think about coffee. If you want a hot coffee, you can make it in just a few minutes. It is fast. It is easy. It gives you something right away. But sometimes, when something is too fast, it can taste a little bitter. Now think about cold brew. Cold brew is different. You do not rush it. You do not force it. You let the coffee slowly rest in cold water for many hours, sometimes 16 to 24 hours. It takes almost a whole day, but the result is beautiful. The taste becomes smoother, sweeter, deeper, richer. And maybe our life is the same. A rushed life may give you fast results, but it can also leave you tired, stressed, and burned out. But a meaningful life is built more slowly. It needs time to become deep. It needs patience to become strong. It needs quiet days to bring out your best flavor. So if life feels slow right now, maybe it does not mean nothing is happening. Maybe you are like cold brew. You are not late. You are not weak. You are not wasting time. You are slowly becoming richer inside. You are slowly becoming calmer, wiser, and stronger. You are slowly becoming the version of yourself that cannot be rushed. So today, ask yourself, am I trying to rush my life like a quick cup of coffee? Or am I willing to give myself time to become something deeper, sweeter, and more meaningful? Take a deep breath. Look at how far you have come. And if your answer is still unclear, that is okay too. You do not need to have everything figured out today. Just keep growing. Just keep learning. Just keep becoming. Because the sweetest results in life are often not the fastest ones. They are the ones that had enough time to become truly rich. Waiting does not mean you are doing nothing. It means you are still growing, even when you cannot see the results yet. Think about a strong and beautiful house. It is not built in one night. It is built slowly, brick by brick. If a house is built too fast, it may not be strong. When the storm comes, it may shake and fall. But if a house is built carefully, it can stand strong in the rain and wind. Your small actions may not look important right now. Maybe you learn 5 new English words. Maybe you read 1 page. Maybe you try again after a hard day. And maybe you ask yourself, is this enough? Yes, it is enough. 1 brick does not look like a house, but many small bricks, added every day, can become a home. So today, you do not need to fix your whole life. You do not need to do everything at once. You only need to do one small good thing, one small action, one better choice, one quiet promise to yourself. I will not give up today. That is already enough. Do not compare your speed with other people. Do not keep looking at someone else's life. Just focus on your own brick today. Put it down with patience. Put it down with love. One day, you will look back and understand you were not late. You were simply building your life, brick by brick, day by day. There are times in life when we feel like we have tried so hard, but nothing seems to change much. You wake up earlier, work harder, try to build better habits, and keep telling yourself not to give up. But when you look back, you still feel like you are standing in the same place. And maybe the hardest part is not the effort itself. Maybe it is the feeling of asking, I have tried so much. So, why is nothing changing? Sometimes you start questioning yourself. Am I not good enough? Am I going the wrong way? Do my efforts even matter? But life does not always show progress right away. Some seasons are not made for blooming. Some seasons are made for preparing, because many important things grow quietly. Slow seasons are not wasted seasons. They are preparation seasons. Real growth is often invisible at first. When you learn English, your brain needs time. When you heal, your heart needs time. So if you cannot see results yet, you are not failing. You are just building your foundation. Look at a small seed. Before it grows up, it must grow roots down. Roots are hidden under the ground. Nobody claps for roots. Nobody takes pictures of roots. But without roots, there is no flower. Your quiet season is exactly like that. Maybe nobody sees your hard work right now, but your effort still matters. Every ordinary day helps your roots grow deeper, so they can carry the next, better version of you. And remember, some seasons in life are like the moment right before sunrise. The sky is still dark. Everything is quiet. You cannot see the light yet. But that does not mean the sun is gone. It only means it is not time for it to appear. You might feel tired or lost today, but maybe you are closer to your new sunrise than you think. Many successful companies and people also had their own slow seasons. Think about Starbucks. Today, we see Starbucks almost everywhere. We see the famous green logo, busy coffee shops, and people holding Starbucks cups every morning. But before all of that, Starbucks was only a small coffee store in Seattle. No worldwide success. No thousands of stores. No big name. Just small steps, small changes, and quiet growth day after day. If someone saw Starbucks in the beginning, they might think, this is just a small shop, nothing special. But sometimes, the biggest things in life begin in very small places. Sometimes, what looks ordinary today is quietly preparing for something extraordinary tomorrow. And maybe your life is like that right now. Maybe you are still in your small beginning. Maybe you cannot see the results yet, but that does not mean nothing is happening. It may simply mean that your story is still growing. So tonight, my dear friend, please be gentle with yourself. Stop calling your slow season a failure. Stop comparing your roots to someone else's flowers. Trust that your sunrise is coming in its own beautiful time. Thank you for being here with me today. If this episode brought you peace, I have created a special playlist just for you. It is full of calm thoughts, healing words, and small reminders for your heart. You can listen to it anytime you need a quiet space to breathe. I am always here, walking with you. Take good care of yourself. To be honest, these days, I have been feeling a little stuck with some of my personal projects. There were moments when I felt tired, confused, and not sure what to do next. But I'm truly grateful that I could still finish this episode and share it with you today. This topic means a lot to me, and I made it with a very sincere heart. Before we start today, I just want to say a big thank you. Thank you for coming back and supporting my small channel. Your time here means a lot to me. And thank you for giving yourself this time too. Thank you for slowing down, taking a deep breath, and letting yourself smile today. I hope this episode brings you some good energy and inspiration for your day. Because maybe we all have seasons when life feels heavy. We all have moments when we feel lost, tired, or unsure about the future. And in those moments, what we need is not always a perfect answer. Sometimes, what we need is just a small light inside our heart. And that small light is called hope. In the hardest moments of life, I learned one truth. Hope does not disappear because life is too bad. Hope disappears when we start to believe that everything will stay bad forever. There are days when we look at our problems and feel like there is no way out. We feel tired, scared, and helpless. Have you ever had days like that? Days when you wake up, but your heart already feels heavy? Days when you try to be strong, but deep inside, you just want to rest? Maybe you smile in front of other people, but inside, you are quietly asking yourself, how can I keep going? In those moments, our mind becomes like a magnifying glass. It only makes the bad things look bigger, the problems, the old pain, and the unclear fear about the future. I used to think I lost hope because my life was too difficult. But later, I understood something deeper. The thing that hurt me the most was not only the storm outside, it was the story I kept telling myself inside my head. I cannot do this. Things will never get better. Maybe I will always be stuck here. These negative thoughts slowly put out the small fire of hope inside us. Sometimes, we give up hope too early because life does not change as fast as we want. We try, but we do not see results right away, so we start to think, maybe nothing is working. But I am here to tell you this. Whether you believe it right now or not, many people who go through hard times do not find hope in one big event. They often find it in small moments they never expected. It can be a kind message from a friend. It can be a quiet morning with a warm cup of tea. It can be a song that makes your heart feel soft again. It can be a small task you finally finish after many tired days. It can be a person who listens to you without judging. Or maybe it is just one simple thought inside your heart saying, maybe I can try one more time. And sometimes that small thought is enough. Enough to help you breathe a little deeper. Enough to help you stand up again. Enough to help you believe that your story is not over yet. Hope is not always gone. Sometimes it is just hiding in places we have not noticed yet. And when we keep going, even slowly, we give ourselves a chance to meet hope again. Hope does not mean we believe everything will become perfect right away. Hope is not pretending that life is easy. Hope is a small but strong voice inside us. It says, "This is hard, but this is not the end." Hope is like a hidden door in a dark room. When we are too scared and too tired, we may only see darkness. We may think we are trapped. But just because we cannot see the door yet, it does not mean the door is not there. Maybe our eyes just need more time to get used to the dark. Maybe our heart just needs time to rest. And little by little, when our mind becomes calmer, we may begin to see a small line of light. That small light reminds us that life can still change. When sadness lasts for too long, and when painful things happen too suddenly, we may want to give up. We may want to close the book. We may want to stop our story at the most painful page. But please slow down for a moment. Do not end the whole book of your life just because today is a very difficult chapter. I know this feeling too. There was a time when I wanted to stop working on something that was very important to me. I felt tired. I felt lost. I felt like my effort was going nowhere. I asked myself, why am I still trying? But somehow, I did not give up completely. I rested. I cried a little. I slowed down. And then, I took one small step again. Now, when I look back, I feel so thankful to that version of me. She was tired, but she still stayed. She was afraid, but she still tried. She did not know what would happen next, but she gave herself one more chance. And because of that, I am here today, sharing this message with you. So if today you feel scared, worried, or unsure about the future, please do not think you are weak. It only shows that you are human. You have a heart. You can feel pain. You can feel tired. And every human needs time to rest, to breathe, and to find the light inside again. There are still kind people you have not met yet. There are still gentle things coming to you. There are still peaceful days ahead that your tired mind cannot see right now. So please be kind and gentle with yourself during the storm. And this is why small steps matter so much, especially in the hardest seasons of life. When life feels heavy, it is very easy to complain, to blame everything, or to say, "I cannot do this anymore." And to be honest, sometimes we do need to cry. We do need to say, "This is hard." We do need to let our feelings come out. But staying there forever will not save us. Complaining may help us release pain for a moment, but it does not build a new path. Giving up may feel like rest for a short time, but it also closes the door to change. Think about someone who has lost their job. At first, they may feel shocked, scared, and ashamed. They may look at their bills, their future, and their empty days, and think, "What should I do now?" And yes, losing a job is painful. It can hurt your confidence. It can make you question your value. But if they only complain every day, nothing will really change. The fear will still be there. The problem will still be there. The bills will still be there. So they start small. Maybe today, they update one part of their CV. Tomorrow, they search for 3 jobs. The next day, they send one application. Then they message a friend and ask, "Do you know any opportunity?" Then they learn one new skill for 30 minutes. These steps may look small, but every small step says, I am still here. I am still trying. I have not given up on my life. And slowly, life begins to move again. One application may get no reply, 10 applications may get no reply, but maybe the 11th one opens a door. And when that door opens, people may say, you are lucky. But deep inside, they know the truth. It was not only luck, it was the small steps they took when they were tired. It was the message they sent when they were afraid. It was the skill they learned when they wanted to give up. That is how hope becomes real. Not only by thinking positive thoughts, but by taking one small action, then another, until the darkness slowly becomes a path forward. And maybe this is the quiet beauty of hard times. When life pushes you down to the lowest place, it can feel like everything is ending. You may feel like you have lost your strength, your direction, and even your belief in yourself. But I have learned something from these moments. Sometimes, the lowest place is not only a place of pain. Sometimes, it is also the place where we finally stop running, stop pretending, and start listening to ourselves. When you have nothing left to lose, you may begin to ask better questions. What really matters to me? What can I still do today? What is one small step I can take from here? And maybe that is where hope begins again. Not as a loud voice, not as a perfect answer, but as a small feeling inside your heart saying, maybe I can rise from this. Maybe right now, you cannot stand up and run quickly. Maybe you can only move slowly, little by little, and that is okay. Because healing does not always look strong from the outside. Sometimes, healing looks like resting. Sometimes, it looks like trying again after crying. Sometimes, it looks like taking one small step when no one is watching. My dear friend, I want you to remember this. Your lowest moment does not have to be the end of your story. It can become the place where you meet a stronger, softer, and wiser version of yourself. And maybe this is one of the most beautiful things about hope. No one can take it away from you. Life may take away your comfort for a while. A failure may take away your confidence for a while. A painful season may take away your smile for a while. But as long as you still keep a small hope inside your heart, you still have a chance to change. And as long as you can still change, you still have a chance to walk toward a better future. Hope does not deny the darkness. Hope does not say, there is no pain. Hope simply whispers, the darkness is not forever. This hard season is not your whole life. You can begin again, even from here. So if you are in a difficult chapter right now, please remember, you do not need to fix your whole life today. Just take one small step, then another, and slowly, gently, and bravely, you may find yourself standing again stronger than before, and more thankful for the version of you who never gave up. Before we end, I truly wish you more peace in your heart, more courage in your steps, and more hope for the days ahead. Thank you for spending this moment with me. There is a speech by Steve Jobs that has inspired millions of people, including me. I don't know if you have ever heard it before. He said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." It means you cannot understand everything when you are looking into the future. You can only understand it later when you look back at your life. And I think this is one of the most beautiful ways to understand the phrase, trust the process. Because in many moments of life, we really do not know where we are going. Maybe today, you cannot see the result yet, but that does not mean you are not growing. Maybe many years later, when you look back, you will realize that the days you thought were meaningless actually taught you many things. The times you failed helped you understand yourself better. The times you were rejected helped you become stronger. The times when you felt you were moving slowly were actually the times when you were quietly growing. So, this is also a special message I want to send to anyone who feels lost, worried, or unsure about what the future will look like. You do not need to have all the answers right now. You do not need to know exactly where life is taking you. Sometimes, you only need to keep going, keep trying, keep learning a little, and keep improving a little every day. Even if you cannot see the full picture yet, it does not mean your life is not moving forward. You are still drawing your story, little by little. Because maybe today, you can only see one small dot. But one day, when you look back, you will realize that everything was quietly connecting together. First, I want to share with you an interesting story about Steve Jobs. In his life, some things looked like failures or meaningless choices at first. For example, he once dropped out of college, but later, because he was curious, he decided to take a calligraphy class. At that time, he probably did not know how this class could help his future. It did not look like a practical subject. It did not promise him a good job. It also did not seem to have anything to do with technology. But many years later, when he and his team created the Macintosh computer, what he learned about letters, the space between letters, and beauty in design influenced the way he built the computer interface. Because of that, the Mac became one of the first computers with beautiful and elegant fonts. Something that seemed very small in the past finally became an important part of a product that changed the world. When I think about my own life, I realize it is the same. There were times when I did not understand why I liked something or why I had to walk on a certain path. For example, when I was a child, I really liked writing poems. I liked writing a few lines about my feelings and small thoughts in my notebook. At that time, I did not think it would help my future. It was simply a way for me to say the things that were hard to say. It was a way to keep my feelings and understand myself a little better. Later, when I grew up, I no longer wrote poems in the same way. But strangely, I am still writing. Now, I write podcast scripts. I write stories about healing, growing up, and how a person can go through difficult days and find the light inside themselves again. When I look back, I realize that maybe my old writing habit was not meaningless at all. Those small poems quietly taught me how to observe my feelings. They taught me how to choose words. They taught me how to turn an unclear feeling into clearer sentences. And maybe those very small things became the foundation for the content I write today. There were also times when I felt lonely, thought too much, and did not know who to talk to. But later, those experiences helped me write podcast episodes that feel closer and more honest. Because I do not only write from theory, I write from the things I have felt, the things I have gone through, and the things I have tried to understand. And that is when I understood Steve Jobs' quote more deeply. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. In nature, it is the same. Everything happens for a reason. If you have ever heard about the water cycle, you will see that a drop of water never really disappears. It may fall to the ground as rain. It may flow into a small stream. It may go deep into the earth. It may rise into the sky as vapor, become a cloud, and one day fall again as another rain. If we only look at one small moment, we may think that everything is ending. When a drop of water becomes vapor, we may think it has disappeared. When the rain falls, we may think it is only a dark and cloudy day. But if we look at the bigger picture, we will see that everything is part of a larger cycle. Sometimes, what you are going through today cannot give you an answer right away. It is like a drop of water. It does not know if it will become a cloud, rain, or a river. But that does not mean its journey is meaningless. It is still moving. It is still changing its form. It is still going through each necessary stage. Our life is the same. The effort and energy you give may sometimes feel like they are disappearing into nothing. But in fact, they are being gathered somewhere else, waiting for the right time to connect and become a rain of results. There are some seasons in life that I often compare to the rainy season. They feel heavy, wet, dark, and they make us feel like we are being pulled down. But maybe those days are quietly feeding something inside us. Maybe the days when we think we are only suffering are actually the days when we are learning patience. Because no rainy season lasts forever. One day, the sky will become brighter. The ground will become dry again. And we will realize that we went through those difficult days with a heart that is stronger than before. Maybe people are the same. Sometimes you are not really lost. You are just in a season of change. You cannot see the result yet because everything is still happening inside you. You cannot see yourself blooming yet because maybe you are still growing your roots. You cannot see the path clearly yet because maybe life is still teaching you the lessons you need before it takes you to the next chapter. So if you are now in the rainy season of your life, please be a little gentler with yourself. You do not need to bloom in the middle of the storm. You only need to keep a little hope, a little faith, and a little courage to get through each day. Because sometimes, growth does not come in the brightest days. It comes in the days when we still choose not to give up, even when our heart feels very tired. And one day, when you look back, you will understand. That rain did not come to drown you. It came to water the things inside you that needed to grow. You know, there are many things in life that we do not understand while they are happening. We only feel tired, sad, disappointed, or feel that everything is coming too slowly. We do not understand why someone leaves. We do not understand why we are rejected. We do not understand why an opportunity we really hoped for disappears. We do not understand why we have tried so hard, but the result has not come yet. But after some time, when we look back with a calmer heart, we may realize something. Maybe the person who left taught us to love ourselves more. Maybe that rejection helped us prepare better for the next opportunity. Maybe the door that closed was not there to hurt us, but to lead us to a better path. And maybe that slow season was the time when we learned to understand ourselves more clearly. Some things look like failure at first, but later they become lessons. Some periods make us think we are standing still, but actually, something inside us is changing. We are learning to be more patient. We are learning to be stronger. We are learning how to stand up again after difficult days. So, not every hard thing is meaningless. Sometimes, life is not taking something away from you. It is only teaching you what you need to learn before taking you to a better place. Do not lose heart too quickly when you feel that you have not done anything big yet. And do not be too afraid of the seasons when you feel like you are standing still and cannot move forward. Because sometimes, standing still on the outside does not mean you are not changing on the inside. It is like a caterpillar inside a cocoon. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. But actually, inside that cocoon, it is quietly changing, growing, and getting ready to have wings one day. People are the same. There are seasons when you cannot see the result yet, when you are not recognized yet, and when you do not have any clear achievement yet. But in silence, you are still learning to be stronger, more patient, and more understanding of yourself. You are collecting small lessons, little by little, to prepare for a better version of yourself. I know, when you are in a difficult season, it is very hard to calmly accept it. You may feel panic, you may blame yourself, you may not want to hear any explanation. But as long as you are still alive, still breathing, and still have a chance to start again, this is not the end. This is only a very hard road that you have to walk through. Maybe today you cannot see the meaning of what is happening, but one day, when you look back, you may understand that this season helped you become stronger, clearer, and kinder to yourself. So, trust the process does not mean sitting still and blindly believing that everything will become better by itself. It means continuing to do the right things, little by little, even when the result has not appeared yet. No effort truly disappears. Every time you learn a little more, become a little more patient, and stand up again after falling down, all of these things are quietly growing inside you. It is like a seed under the ground. At first, we cannot see it growing, but actually, it is growing its roots and preparing for the day it rises. Your job is not to force life to give you an answer right away. Your job is to keep going, keep learning, keep collecting small lessons, and keep being patient, even when everything still feels separate and hard to understand. Because maybe the things you are going through today are not meaningless at all. They are only pieces of the picture that have not connected yet. And one day, when you look back, you will understand why you had to go through those days, why you had to learn those lessons, and why some things that once felt very painful helped create a stronger version of you. So please believe me, eventually it all connects. One day, those pieces will become a complete picture, and that picture will be worth everything you have patiently gone through. Have you ever looked back at your life and asked yourself, why did I accept so much? Why did I accept a tiring love, a job where I was not valued, or toxic relationships around me? I used to think it was because of fate, but the more I learned about psychology, the more I realized something important. The way the world treats you can sometimes reflect the way you see your own value. If, in love, you believe you only deserve coldness, you may miss the people who truly know how to love you. If, at work, you believe your value is not very high, you may stay too long in a place that no longer helps you grow. And if, in friendship, you always think you have to give, endure, and please others just to stay, you may forget that a healthy friendship also needs support from both sides. Maybe what keeps us stuck is not always other people, the situation, or fate. Sometimes, it is an old belief inside us, the belief that we should not ask for more. But my dear friend, wanting to be loved kindly is not selfish. Wanting to be respected is not asking for too much. And leaving places that make you feel small does not mean you are weak. Maybe that is the moment you begin to believe in one very important truth again. You also deserve better things. Today, let's sit together and learn how to care for ourselves again. First, I want to tell you one very important truth. What feels familiar is not always what is right for you. Many people do not realize this, so they keep falling into the same pattern without knowing it. They choose relationships that make them tired. They choose workplaces that do not value their effort. They choose to stay around people who make them feel like they always have to prove their worth. Not because they are unlucky, but because we, as human beings, often have a strange habit. We do not always choose what is best for us. We often choose what feels most familiar. Psychology also tells us something like this. A child who grows up with coldness from their family may later think that half-hearted love is normal. A child who always has to try hard to get attention may grow up thinking, I have to be good enough, quiet enough, and understanding enough to deserve love. A child whose feelings were ignored may become an adult who often tells themselves, it's okay. Maybe I am just too sensitive. And that is how the cycle of wrong choices begins. We choose someone because they feel familiar, not because they make us feel peaceful. We choose someone who hurts us, and then we comfort ourselves by saying, maybe this is just how love is. We choose someone who gives us only a little care, and we feel so touched that we think it is the greatest love in the world. Because deep inside, we believe that this is all we deserve. That is why we keep making the same mistakes. We keep choosing things that are not right for us, simply because they remind us of what felt familiar in the past. Sometimes, what you call a familiar feeling is actually an old wound wearing a new face. If we are not awake enough, we may keep falling into the same trap. You may have a new lover, move to a new job, and meet new people. But in the end, you still feel the same old pain again. You are not really moving forward. You are only repeating the past under a different name. You only start to live differently on the day you realize, I do not have to stay in this cycle anymore. You realize that you have lived too long in a dark room. And outside that door, there is still so much sunlight and so much beauty waiting for you. I remember a friend once told me that she did not understand why her life always repeated the same kind of heartbreak. The first person made her wait for a long time. The second person made her always be the one to text first. The third person was not a bad person, but he made her feel like she always had to try hard to be kept. At first, she thought she was just unlucky. Then she thought maybe she had not met the right person yet. But one day, after another relationship ended, she sat alone in a coffee shop and seriously asked herself, why do I keep walking into relationships where I am not truly valued? And for the first time, she stayed silent for a long time. She realized something very painful. For many years, she had not truly chosen the right people. She had only chosen people who felt familiar, even when that familiar feeling was the pain of always trying so hard just to receive a little love from them. Things only began to change when she realized that she also deserved to be loved. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. What happens when you live in a dark room for too long? Maybe your eyes slowly get used to the darkness. Then, when even a small ray of sunlight comes in, you may feel scared. You may feel that it is too bright. You may even want to hide from it. The human heart works in a very similar way. When you stay too long in cold relationships, you slowly begin to see pain as something normal. And little by little, you forget that you also have the right to be happy. But my dear friend, darkness will not disappear by itself if you do not open the door. Things only truly change when you have the courage to stand up, turn away from the familiar pain, and look for new light. In the first steps, you may feel confused. You may even feel afraid. You may feel uncomfortable when you learn how to be with kind people. You may doubt warmth, care, and love without conditions, because maybe you once thought these things were not real. Kindness may feel too bright to you, not because it is dangerous, but because you have lived in the dark for too long. But trust me, this fear is only temporary. It is time to wake up and understand one important truth about life. Where your standards are, your life will follow. If you see yourself as broken pieces, the world may keep giving you broken things. But when you raise your standards and dare to believe that you deserve kindness, life will slowly begin to remove what is not right for you and keep what is better. Do not lower your standards just to fit into a dark room. You deserve to walk under the sunlight. But there is one very important truth we need to see clearly. Raising your standards does not mean sitting still and waiting for the world to bring you a perfect person. Raising your standards also does not mean only asking others to love you, respect you, and heal you. While you keep the same wounds, old habits, and reactions that hurt yourself. Because in any relationship, kind, mature, and healthy people also have their own standards. They also need peace. They also need respect. They also need someone who can build with them, not someone who only pulls them into unhealed pain. So, if we want to walk beside better people, we also need to learn how to become a better version of ourselves. Not to prove our worth to anyone, not to please the world, but so we no longer turn our own life into a dark room. You cannot truly receive healthy love if, deep inside, you always doubt every gentle action. You cannot build a sincere friendship if you always look at people with the fear of being betrayed. And it may be hard to find a job that values you more if you do not keep learning, improving, and making your abilities clearer every day. So changing yourself does not mean lowering yourself just to be chosen. Changing yourself means lifting yourself up. It means becoming bright enough, strong enough, and healthy enough to recognize what is truly right for you. And it also means becoming brave enough to leave what no longer fits your life. When you begin to heal, you learn to see things more clearly. Like the close friend I told you about earlier, she began to understand that a healthy relationship does not only come from meeting the right person, it also comes from becoming full and peaceful inside. So she does not choose the wrong person just because she feels lonely. When you begin to change your mindset inside, the way you respond to life also changes. It may still be feedback from your boss, but you no longer hear only rejection. You begin to calmly ask yourself, is this environment still right for me? Is there something I need to learn? Where can I improve the way I work? It may still be coldness from someone you love, but you no longer quickly think, maybe I am not good enough. Instead, you begin to ask yourself, is this relationship helping me grow? Am I forgetting my own feelings? Is this relationship really good for me? When your mindset changes, you no longer react only from your old wounds. You begin to respond with clarity. You no longer only ask, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this teaching me? What do I need to change? And do I still want to stay here? When your mindset changes, you begin to realize that taking care of your mind is just as important as taking care of your body. You no longer force yourself to endure people who only make unreasonable demands. You no longer force yourself to hold on to things that no longer fit your life. Actually, taking care of your mind does not always have to be something big. Sometimes it is simply sleeping a little earlier, listening to fewer negative words, comparing yourself with others a little less, learning to say no to the things that make you tired, and learning to treat yourself with the same kindness that you have always given to other people. Even these small things can help your mind feel much better. When your mind is exhausted, you may easily hold on to temporary things. But when your mind is healthy and calm, you will realize one important truth. If something costs you your peace, then it is not worth it. You do not need to trade your peace just to keep anyone in your life. Besides our mind, we also need to learn how to take care of our health. Because our body, mind, and emotions are three important pillars that help us stand strong in life. When your body is tired and your heart has no energy, it is easy to hold on to temporary things. When we are tired for too long, we may stop choosing what is best for us. We may only choose what makes us feel less lonely, less empty, or simply what feels familiar. But when you begin to sleep better, live more slowly, move your body more, listen to your feelings, and treat yourself with more kindness, you will slowly have more energy to see things clearly. And little by little, you no longer mistake coldness for love. You no longer mistake being used for friendship. You no longer stay too long in places that make you feel small. Then, you will realize one very important thing. The journey of stepping out of the darkness is not only about finding a better person, a better chance, or a better life. It is also the journey of rebuilding yourself from the inside. Because the quote, "We accept the love we think we deserve," is not only true in love, It is also true in the way we choose our jobs, our friends, our living environment, and the way we allow others to treat us. So raise your standards. But do not only raise your standards for other people, raise your standards in the way you treat yourself. The way you think, the way you take care of your body, the way you protect your peace, and the way you love yourself. Because when you truly learn to value yourself, you will no longer need to chase things that hurt you. You will naturally choose better things. Not because the world has changed, but because, finally, the way you see yourself has changed. Thank you for spending your time listening to the Heal and Grow podcast. I'm Xavier, and if this episode touched you in any way, please leave a small comment below. You can share what you are learning to let go of, or what you want to start loving again within yourself. You can also listen to more episodes in this playlist, so we can continue this journey of healing, growing, and coming back to a more peaceful version of ourselves.